Як почуєш серця зов, як заграє раптом кров, не турбуйся, не лякайся, бо це любов, а любов річ неземна, незбагненна чарівна, ні відмовити не в силі, ні ти, ні я, ти з любові собі не жартуй, і з моїх почуттів не кепкуй, бо що сталось мені, може статися й тобі, а за те ти мене не винуй, бо не знаєш години, ні дня, як в один так заб'ються серця, не поможе тоді вже нічого ніхто тобі, як до тебе любов завіта, не поможе тоді вже нічого ніхто тобі, як до тебе любов завіта.
And a Ukrainian group called Kiev Orchestrio, and a song called Tivs Lyubovi Sobi ne Żartuj, which translates as You Don't Joke About Love. Добрий вечір, дорогі радіослухачі, та вітаю вас всіх на радіопередачу «Наш Холос», радіо українського коріння, котра подається вам, як звичайно, щосуботи о 6 годині на багатомовній радіостанції AM 1320 CHMB у місті Ванкувері і по мережі PCJ Радіо Міжнародному. При мікрофоні Павліна Макварі, дякую, що ви були слухачами сьогодні ввечері та рішили перебути зі мною наступну годину. Hello there and welcome to Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio here on AM 1320 CHMB Vancouver and in international syndication on PCJ Radio International. I'm Paula Demchuk-Macquarie, Pukrinske Pavlina, and I'm delighted to have you with me. We've got a great program lined up for you. We have episode 5 of Joan Brander's Pisanka Power podcast, and today it'll be all about using the pencil technique on Pisankit. And last week I misidentified her episode 4 podcast, and that was not all about dies because that was episode 3. Episode 4 was all about creating geometric designs. So today it'll be all about using a pencil to help you create those great geometric designs. And on Ukrainian Jewish heritage, Myra Junik, who is our usual Knyzhka Corner book reviewer, will be reviewing a book for Ukrainian Jewish heritage. And this is an incredible book called Jews and Ukrainians, A Millennium of Coexistence. And it was co-authored by Paul Robert Magotchi and Yohanan Petrovsky Stern. So stay tuned for that. We've also got our usual proverb of the week, other items of interest, and great Ukrainian music. And coming up next is a Canadian artist by the name of Oresha. And she's believe it's a reggae artist, and but she has got Ukrainian roots, and so she's recorded some Ukrainian music, and this is her first release. It's called Czerwona Ruta, the Red Rue.
Ти признайся мені, звідки в тебе ті чари, я без тебе всі дні у полоні печалі, може десь у лісах ти чар зігла шукав, сонце руту знайшов і мене зчарував. шукай вечорами, ти у мене єдиний, тільки ти повір. Бо твоя врода, то є чистая вода, то є бистрая вода, синий бачу я тебе в снах, у дібровах зелених, по забутих стежках. Ти приходиш до мене, і не треба нести мені квітку надії, бо давно уже ти увійшов в мої мрії. Червону руту не шукай вечорами, ти у мене єдиний, тільки ти повір. Бо твоя врода, то є чистая вода, то є бистрая вода, синий червону руту не шукай вечорами, ти у мене єдиний, тільки ти повір. Бо твоя врода, то є чистая вода, то є бистрая вода, синий бистрая вода, синий.
Thanks to the foresight and generosity of its donors, the Taras Shevchenko Foundation has been investing in the future of the Ukrainian-Canadian community for over 50 years. Since 1963, the Taras Shevchenko Foundation has been funding initiatives that strengthen our Ukrainian-Canadian identity and enhance our Ukrainian-Canadian cultural heritage. These include fine and performing arts and arts groups, museums, cultural centers, education, as well as authors, journalists, and the Ukrainian-Canadian media, including this program. The foundation strives to become the premier not-for-profit foundation in Canada which acknowledges the Ukrainian-Canadian community as a fundamental component of Canadian society. Nash Holos listeners are encouraged to support this vision through continued donations into the future. To apply for grants, make a donation, or for more information, visit shevchenkofoundation.com.
The 24th annual BC Ukrainian Cultural Festival takes place on Saturday, May 4th in Mission. Enjoy non-stop Ukrainian dance competitions from 9 a.m. till 6:30 p.m., authentic Ukrainian folk music, arts and crafts exhibits and vendors, a children's activity center, and more. And of course, delicious traditional Ukrainian food. Tickets are just $8, $5, and $1 at the door. That's the 24th annual BC Ukrainian Cultural Festival, Saturday, May 4th at the Heritage Park Secondary School, 33700 Prentice Street in Mission.
Дівчина воду брала, хороша я
Ukrainian-American singer Andriana from her recent CD, just released in late November of 2018. It is called Pisni z domu, Songs from Home. And that song was Tam na hori kruta veja, which translates as On the Mountain. Up next, Millennia from Edmonton, picking up the pace a little bit. Here they are with Oi Chorna Yesu Chorna. I am a dark-eyed beauty. And now for a look at Ukraine's rich Jewish heritage, then and now, brought to you by the Ukrainian Jewish Encounter based in Toronto, Ontario.
I'm Myra Junik in Toronto for Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio. In this edition of Ukrainian Jewish Heritage, we will be discussing Jews and Ukrainians, A Millennium of Coexistence by Paul Robert Magachi and Yohanan Petrovsky Stern. Jews and Ukrainians, A Millennium of Coexistence is a comprehensive historical account of the relationship between Jews and ethnic Ukrainians, both in Ukraine and the diaspora. It was written primarily for a North American audience, but it has also been published in the Ukrainian language. It receives a Special Recognition Award at the 2016 Lviv Book Forum. Commissioned by the Ukrainian Jewish Encounter and published by the University of Toronto Press, this book attempts to fill the gap of what Jews and Ukrainians know about each other. In the introduction, the writers state, "There is much that ordinary Ukrainians do not know about Jews, and that ordinary Jews do not know about Ukrainians. There is even more that Jews and Ukrainians do not know about themselves. In the 12 thematic chapters of this book, the writers construct a parallel narrative of the two groups, looking at settlement patterns, history, economics, culture, religion, language, literature, theater, architecture, art, music, the diaspora, as well as contemporary political and social life. Each writer wrote separately, one concentrating on ethnic Ukrainians and one concentrating on Jews. However, they also collaborated in sections. They soon discovered that what emerged from our parallel narrative was a single story in which ethnic Ukrainians and Jews displayed as many similarities as differences. The book begins with an examination of how stereotypes, perceptions, and misperceptions, often based on blatant prejudice, cloud relations between Jews and Ukrainians. The relationship between the two groups goes back 1,000 years. The first Jewish settlers moved to Ukrainian lands as maritime merchants from the Mediterranean basin. They settled in the coastal towns of the Black Sea, along with Greek colonists. During the time of Kievan Rus, Jews started arriving from Central Europe and settling in the central and northern Ukrainian towns. There are references to Jewish settlers in the literature of the period. Jews and Ukrainians continued to live together in the land that is contemporary Ukraine for hundreds of years, despite rule by foreign governments. By 1900, the inhabitants on the lands of present-day Ukraine totaled 30.6 million, comprised of 72.4% ethnic Ukrainians and 8.7% Jews. In sharp contrast, after the tragic events of the 20th century, such as the Holocaust and the Holodomor, today's ethnic Ukrainian population is about 37.5 million, with a Jewish population of only 84,000 or 0.02%, living mostly in cities such as Kyiv, Odessa, Dnipropetrovsk, and Kharkiv. This volume is full of intricate information, insightful historical analysis, detailed graphics and maps, as well as very relevant photographs. At times, the detail almost seems encyclopedic, but the writers managed to make each and every section relevant and readable. Those new to Ukrainian studies will learn a great deal about Ukraine's history and culture. Those who have studied both Ukrainian and Jewish culture will appreciate the commentary and the analysis of historical events. Researchers will definitely appreciate the extensive list of resources at the end of this book. Perhaps the most important theme in this book is the evolving relationship between Jews and Ukrainians. The writers describe historical conflicts between the two groups during the Khmelnytsky era, Polish rule, anti-Jewish pogroms of the 1880s, Babin Yar, the Holocaust, and Soviet rule. However, they also describe collaboration between the two groups during World War II, the Gorbachev era, the Orange Revolution, Kyiv's Maidan, and contemporary Ukraine. There is an extensive examination of links between the two groups in terms of language, art, literature, and cultural life. Paul Robert Magachi is professor of history and political science and holds the John Yaremko Chair of Ukrainian Studies at the University of Toronto. Born in New Jersey, he completed his education at Rutgers, Princeton, and Harvard University. In 1996, he was appointed a permanent fellow of the Royal Society of Canada. He is interested in the history of nationalism, in particular among ethnic groups living in border areas. His recent works include With Their Back to the Mountains, A History of Carpathian Rus and Carpatho-Russins, and This Blessed Land, Crimea and the Crimean Tartars. Yohanan Petrovsky-Stern is professor of Jewish Studies and Jewish History at Northwestern University, where he is the Crown Family Professor of Jewish Studies. Born in Kyiv, he completed his education at Moscow University and Brandeis University. He is interested in Jewish history, Slavic Jewish literature, and the history and culture of Ukraine. His recent works include The Golden Age Shtel, A History of Jewish Life in East Europe, and Lenin's Jewish Question. Magocsi and Petrovsky-Stern have written an impressive book, packed with encyclopedic detail, while being as easy to read as a magazine. Although this book is unlikely to change deeply held perceptions, the writers believe that in order to properly appreciate Jewish-Ukrainian relations, Jews need to know as much about Ukrainians as Ukrainians need to know about Jews. Jews and Ukrainians, A Millennium of Coexistence is available at Chapters Indigo and Amazon. I'm Myra Junik in Toronto for Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio. Until next time, Shalom.
Ukrainian Jewish Heritage is brought to you by the Ukrainian Jewish Encounter based in Toronto, Ontario. To find out more about their work, visit their website and follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Transcripts and audio files of this and earlier broadcasts of Ukrainian Jewish Heritage are available at their website, ukrainianjewishencounter.org, as well as at the Nash Holos website, www.nashholos.com. A song by a group called Luhanski Kozakia, which translates as Cossacks from Luhansk. That is an area in Ukraine that right now is occupied illegally by Russia. And that song was Hey Vedno Solo, as a song from another era when Ukrainians were trying to shake off the Russian aggression. And that translates as Hey, there's a village. Coming up next, the Kuban Cossack Choir with a traditional Ukrainian folk song, Polubila Petrusia, I Love Peter.
Полюбила Петруся, та й сказати боюся. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Та за того Петруся била мене матуся. Ой, лихо, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Ой, із туги мій Петрусь, пішов військо, не вернусь. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, пішов військо, не вернусь. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, пішов військо, не вернусь. Що з ним війську там було, моє серце не знало. Ой, лихо, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Не знала я молода, яка буде з ним біда. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Ой, ой-ой-ой, біле личко, чорний вуз. Що мій миленький Петрусь, в тому світу повернусь. Ой, лихо, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз. Ой, лихо не Петрусь, біле личко, чорний вуз.
This is CHMB, AM 1320, Vancouver.
Возьму коногоньку та й піду по воду, а там хлопці риболовці, хлопці козацького роду, а там хлопці риболовці, хлопці козацького роду. Хлопці риболовці козацького роду, візьміть мене на той човен, перевезіть через воду, візьміть мене коридати, що стояла край берега, та й стала гіркою. Ой, 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 ой,
And popular Ukrainian songstress Oksana Mucha with Chlopci Rybolovci, the Fisher Boys. Up next, another popular Ukrainian songstress. Her name is Mariana Sadowska. Here she is now with a cycle of spring calling songs from Polisia.
Ой, лісу, лісу, чом мене зелений, ой, я вельой, чом мене зелений, ой, як же ж мені зеленому бути, ой, я вельой, зеленому бути. Були пташечки, да євірі пошли, ой, я вельо, да євірі пошли. Одна зостала, ряба зозулечка, ой, я вельо, ряба зозулечка. Тою хочуть орелики взяти, ой, я вельо, орелики взяти, орелики взяти, лебедям отдати, ой, я вельо, лебедям отдати, лебедям отдати, щоб було з ким літати, ой, я вельо, було з ким літати, ой, я вельо, ой, я вельо. Скакав воробейко, як було тепленько, ой, як було тепленько, як мороз притиснув, воробей не писнув, ой, воробей не пив. А воробейка, жита коробейка, ой, жита коробейка. Нема кому їсти, жінка маленька, ой, жінка маленька, ой, у лісі на горі зозоля завесла, зозоля завесла, щоб тобі козаченьку вечеря закисла, вечеря закисла, ой, у лісі на горі стукала сорока, стукала сорока. Свою мороз, за ліса, не воюй, рівень зелено, не води дівок утано, ай за ліса зелено, чорна хмара виступає, ягодка у бору росла, я молода замуж чорна хмара. Дробний дощик накрапає, ягодка, гора росла, я молода замуж Ходімте, дівчата, дітки молодиці, і дітки молоді, будемо скакати, зиму проводжати, зиму проводжати, іди зимо, та й то Тульщина. Ти вже ж нам надокучила,
Hi,
I'm Joan Brander, and you're listening to my Pesinka Power podcast. I love Ukrainian egg decorating. I've been doing it for several decades, ever since I was a child. I've amassed so much knowledge and experience over those years, I thought that podcasting would be a great way to share my passion with you. I'll be telling you about their history, legends, and symbols. On the practical side, there's tools and techniques used in making them, hints, tips, and do-it-yourself projects to talk about. Did you know that the fate of the world depends on pesinka? There's an ancient Ukrainian legend that says, as long as pesinka are being made, evil will not prevail over good in the world. They're one of the greatest traditions of all time, so I hope that my podcast will inspire you. Welcome to episode 5 of my podcast. In my previous episode, I talked about geometric patterns on traditional pesinka. It was such a long-winded podcast, I hope you didn't tune out. Today, I'd like to keep it short and simple. Let's detract from the serious stuff for a minute and focus on technique. Even the most experienced egg artists use pencil lines as a framework to maintain geometric balance. I'd like to give you a few pointers on this, such as what type of pencil to use, how much of the design to pencil out, how to remove unwanted or unsightly pencil marks, and troubleshooting problems and solutions. For some people, it's not that easy to eyeball proportion and dimension on the curved surface of an egg. Others can do it quite easily, freehand. My husband Tom teases that I can make a star rosette perfectly balanced on an egg with my eyes closed. But that's only because I've done it so many times. One thing you can do to help distribute repetitive patterns on an egg evenly is to use pencil guidelines. When writing pesinka, you should strive for balance and symmetry as much as possible. Did you notice that I used the term writing pesinka? I did this in other episodes too. That's because we say we write pesinka. They're not painted, stenciled, nor drawn. They're written. So let's get into the content of this episode on pencil guidelines and start with the basics. I'm often asked, what type of pencil do you use? My answer is that I use one with a very hard lead. Most office supply and art stores carry different grades of both hard and soft pencils. A very hard lead works best. I usually use a number 2 or number 3. I find that anything softer will smudge or rub off. Keep your pencil sharpened to a fine point. I like to use a lead pencil for this. It should go without saying that you should not use a ballpoint pen or marker. As for how much of the design to pencil out, don't pencil the entire design. Remember that the title of this podcast is Pencil Guidelines, and that is what you want. Just a few visible marks to help balance the distribution of your symbols and designs. You should use very little pressure and make long, smooth lines rather than short, sketchy ones. Make your pencil guidelines only on the white eggshell. It's very seldom that I add pencil to any parts of the colored egg. Most of all, avoid erasing, because erasing can make your eggshell non-receptive to the dyes. And when all is said and done, you'll have a blotchy area that can't be fixed. If you haven't pressed too hard with your pencil, the marks should come off when you remove the beeswax. Most beginners will learn to make pesinka with a dark background color. In that case, if the pencil doesn't come off with the beeswax, it will be covered up by the darker dye colors. Let's say you've done everything I've suggested and the pencil lines are still showing. Here's a couple of troubleshooting problems and things you can do to fix them. If you have pencil marks showing through the lighter dyes, especially white areas of your egg, use a white eraser to remove them. You can purchase a white eraser at most stationery stores. In later episodes, I'll be talking about a technique called bleaching. These types of pesinka have large areas of white on them, so they may be more vulnerable to unwanted pencil lines showing up. On background colors other than white, I've used paint thinner on a Q-tip quite successfully. I gently wipe off the pencil marks. Again, a very light touch is important to prevent the dye from rubbing off. I've even used certain types of nail polish remover and spot remover to get rid of pencil marks that I don't want to show. Let me wrap up this episode on the importance and technique of using pencil guidelines with one more tip. Add a small jar of paint thinner to your kit of Pessinka supplies. You never know when it might come in handy. For example, after you've melted off the beeswax from your Pessinka, there might be small traces of beeswax clinging to the pores of the egg. You can use a small amount of paint thinner on a tissue or cotton ball to gently wipe away your Pessinka. The colors will appear much brighter because they won't have the residue of dark beeswax distorting the colors. As you research more about Pessinka, whether from this podcast, from my website, babasbeeswax.com, or from other resources, you'll learn many techniques to nurture your interest and desire to write a perfect Pessinka for you. That's it for the main part of this episode. Now let's move on to talk about my recommendations for books and bits. In each episode of this podcast, I've been commenting on resources to support the topics covered, including various techniques that can be used. They're also on my website, babasbeeswax.com. There's no shortage of books dealing with the technique of Pessinka, with many of them showing diagrams and pictures. I've found that the best resource books include basic division marks to make with a pencil. There's a family of authors in Minneapolis who have done a fabulous job of writing a series of numbered books just like this. I've used them for years and have them all in my personal collection. I highly recommend ordering one for yourself to enrich your library on the topic of Pessinka. I think it's best to start with book 1 and go from there. Maybe request one as a gift from a loved one for your birthday or a special day. They're available for purchase along with supplies, kits, and other books from my store, Baba's Beeswax. Right next to the books listing on the Baba's Beeswax online store is an icon which links you directly to our YouTube channel. There's several playlists to watch, but the one I want to lead you to is the book preview video clips. You'll see me flip through the pages to see the format, colorful covers, and contents of featured Pessinka designs. Well, that's all for today. Join me again for the next episode, just in time for Easter. In case you're still not sure if Pessinka are right for you, or if you're just running out of time before Easter, I'll be talking about other types of Ukrainian decorated eggs that are quick and easy. Before I go, allow me to tell you about Baba's Beeswax and how you can get in touch with me. Back in 1991, sitting around the dining room table with my family, it got me thinking that, well, maybe I should do more with my egg decorating hobby. We came up with the whimsical name Baba's Beeswax. Since then, Baba's Beeswax has been doing a lot of buzzing. We have a website at babasbeeswax.com. Our studio comes alive with workshops and demonstrations. We write books, pamphlets, teaching aids, and videos. We have a library for all the publications we produce and collect. Not only that, we have a gallery of all the Pessinka we've made and collected. Please drop by for a visit. We're located in Richmond, British Columbia. If you like shopping in person, it's very easy to get to. We're not far from the Vancouver International Airport. And for our American friends, we're just a few hours' drive north of Seattle. For shopping on the internet, you can visit our online store at babasbeeswax.com. We've had it since 1997. Pardon the pun, but we've been buzzing around for a long time. We're doing our best to keep up with technology, so we're connecting with you on YouTube, Facebook, and other platforms. Now we're podcasting, and we're very excited to be doing that. You too can follow the buzz by giving us your comments or a thumbs up. We're here to help you choose kits and supplies like the beeswax, kiska, and dyes you'll need. You can get everything you need all year round, not only at Easter. In case you missed anything, you can listen to my podcast again. We've put the audio file on our website, babasbeeswax.com, or you might like reading along, so we've put the transcript there too. That's it for me, Joan Brander of Baba's Beeswax. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.
яка ти зрадлива, не одного мужа жона розлучила, не одного мужа жона розлучила. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Ой, не їдьме, милий, до Канади жити, лише ж тіточками будемо бідити, лише ж тіточками будемо бідити. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Ой, приходь, мій рідний, старенька я мати, бо чи вас я буду ще колись видати, бо чи вас я буду ще колись видати. Дайте кабаніба, панку мармуляди, бувайте здорові, йду до Канади, бувайте здорові, йду до Канади. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Дайте кабаніба, пачку маргарини, бувайте здорові, йду до Марини, бувайте здорові, йду до Марини. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте. Обшукана українська громада, музиченьки, грайте, а ви всі гуляйте.
From Winnipeg, that was a group called Molodsi, which translates as young people, and a song called Hop Shoop Canada, a song about emigrating to Canada. Coming up next, Joe Hitzik and the Starlights from somewhere in Alberta. Here they are with Oi Kume Kume, a song about godparents.
Ой, куме, куме, добра горівка, будемо пити аж до понеділка, будемо пити аж до понеділка. sobote, oj kume, propellam čobote, oj kume, propellam čobote. A від соботи аж до неділі, ой куме, є у Бога надії, ой куме, є у Бога надії.
Nash Holos now has a Patreon site, and I hope as a listener you'll consider supporting the show with a donation there. Nash Holos is not funded by government and has no corporate financing, so as little as $1 a month will make a huge difference. Your money will be put to good use to help cover the myriad costs of keeping a show like this online and on the air. So please check out our Patreon page. There are links everywhere on the Nash Holos website, www.nashholos.com, or just go to patreon.com and search for Nash Holos. Щиро дякую.
Ofta nebo Manitoba, po осені тече вода чиста. Старе життя, старші як сосни, молодші від горів, рости як вітрець. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. Manitoba, miles from mama, take me home. Country road, рідні ліси, сині гори і ріки, чую їх клич і голос їх. Сонце зайшло ще далеко, від дому я є. Чую клич, country road, take me home to the place I belong. Manitoba, miles from mama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road.
And the inimitable Mickey and Bunny with John Denver remake set in Manitoba rather than Virginia. And of course that was Country Roads. You've been listening to Nash Holos Ukrainian Roots Radio, our flagship show in Vancouver, which comes to you Saturdays from 6 to 7 p.m. here on AM 1320 CHMB on the radio dial and online at am1320.com, as well as in international syndication on PCJ Radio International. If you miss a live transmission of the show, get the podcast at our website, www.nashholos.com. You'll find a link to the full podcast there, as well as audio archives and transcripts, information about the show, and a link to our Patreon site where I do hope you'll engage with me and join our other Patreon supporters. Ми вже скінчили нашу програму, вже час додому і сказати до побачення, але перед тим я хочу залишити вас такими словами мудрості. Хто добре свій фах знає, той ніколи себе не завстидає. And our proverb of the week translates as, whoever knows his occupation well will never have cause to be ashamed. And with that, we've come to the end of our program, so one last song for you. It'll be the Interlake Polka Kings and the Fisher Polka. I'm Pavlina. On behalf of all of us here at Nash Holos and AM 1320, thanks for listening and dobranic.